Don't be a cheeky scrub.
Well, too late. As last minute, I got rid of Musiala and Gakpo for Gundogan and Morata.
Unlucky.
But despite that, we still got 78 points thanks to sexy fellas like Fabio and Ruiz, Nico Williams and Pepe. When a 41-year-old is a top fantasy football point scorer, then you know you aren't doing great, right? Wrong! We are actually 7,000th in the world, and after the second day, we were actually 2,000th in the world, and then I didn't have Gakpo, so unlucky, but still pretty damn good. But the real question on all of our lips for the quarterfinals, and the question I've been asked most on my FPL OnlyFans, do we wildcard or not? Do we save it if we have it, or do we use it? As somehow, we didn't actually have any shock upsets in the round of 16. I mean, you don't count Italy and Austria, right? Yeah. And it actually only means I only have one player eliminated for the quarterfinals. And with every fixture in the quarterfinals actually looking like good enough to almost be a final, apart from England, of course, then do we really want to wildcard now when we still have all of our players? When next round, all of our players are just going to get eliminated anyway? No. The answer is no wildcard. So I can confirm I will not be wildcarding this week, and I will be wildcarding in the semi-final instead. It was never the plan, but hey, with how well it's gone, this is what you got to do. And now I get to turn into Sky Sports Transfer Centre, and I get to discuss my 3 free transfers for the summer. Where if we do look at the fixtures again, Spain vs Germany is actually better than the final. Can we just end the tournament to this game? Because it's not going to be topped by anything else. Even if you are the absolute world's cheekiest scrub and don't have players like Musiala yet, it probably still isn't worth investing in too many players in this game. Because even though they're great fantasy options, it's going to be the toughest game. You know, it could be a 2-all, a 4-all, a 0-0, and no fantasy options get points. All of them could get points. So it's quite hard to predict. It's quite hard to spend your transfers on that one compared to the other games. Portugal versus France is literally the mid-off of the century. Literally do a snooze along to that. Where I actually might be crying more than Ronaldo if I watch the entire of that game, because no, I don't want to. Both defences have been pretty damn solid, but both of their attackers have been as useful as English referees, so I don't know about that one. I probably wouldn't buy too many players from this game, especially attacking players, especially ones that take penalties, if you know what I mean. Switzerland versus Slovakia. Oh wait, Bellingham is a prat and ruined the greatest hate watch in history. I was enjoying myself, why did you do that? But England are actually the heavy favourites in this game, but I swear it's got to be a prank by the bookmakers at this point, because they're favourites for everything. I swear they're the favourites for the Copa America and they're not even in it. How do the bookmakers think they're easily going to win this tournament? It makes no sense. So I guess on paper, England should be the team to back out of all these teams. But what I will say is, Guehi is suspended, so the defence is probably not going to be as good. And then Switzerland have been good, but then they've been rotating their players, so probably quite hard to back any of their players too. But either way, there's players there, but there's not too many standout options. Then we have Netherlands versus Turkey. Hang on. I said Austria were going to get to the final. Where the hell are they? Unlucky. But I feel like Christmas has come early, not because they delivered the turkey, but because we actually have the easiest fixture on paper to back right here. But then again, it is the quarterfinal. There is no easy fixture. I still wouldn't be too surprised if Turkey got a result there. The Netherlands do have cheap attackers to back and solid defenders, so they could actually be the best place to spend our transfers though. A wink, a wink. I wonder where I'm going to spend mine. Going back to my team then, we have a Guehi who is suspended, so he will be deleted from the team. We have Sabitzer as my only eliminated player, so he will be yeeted out of the team. And that's it. I only literally need to get rid of 2 players, but we will get rid of 3. But to decide who to spend the transfers on, is best to look at who you want to bring in first. And on my shortlist for defenders, we have all of the top scoring defenders. But right now, I'm liking the looks of Koundé. Not because he just scored an 11-pointer and all of a sudden he's a top point scorer. No, he's still great. Good fixture. We have a Nathan Ake, who has been quietly getting all the points, all the ball recoveries and the clean sheet there. And we also have an Akanji, who again is getting all the ball recoveries too. Now, I'm actually not too confident of a clean sheet for any team. I've already got defenders from the likes of England, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, France. So I'm like, I could get anyone. But I think France have probably been the best defensively, so I'm leaning towards Akunde. But then the likes of Akanji and Ake probably have more upside with a little bit more attacking threat and a little bit more ball recovery points as well. For midfielders, and looking at the top point scorers, I'm actually liking the looks of Kante, yeah, and Rodri. Yeah, I mean, when I say my two favourite midfielders are defensive mids, then you know what's happening to fantasy football. I've lost the game I've loved, right? But, I mean, in a game like France vs Portugal, or in a game like Spain vs Germany, then both of those are going to get all the recovery points. And then they've both actually been pretty attacking. Rodri scoring in his last game, and can't they get in a couple of assists as well? He's literally had no assists, I lied. He's been pretty damn attacking, okay? But then the one midfielder I'm loving is not Musiala, because I don't have him, not a terrible player. It's Xavi Simons. Of course, I had him in match day 1 when he scored 2 points, and he scored all the points since then. He's got one of the best attacking fixtures for a midfielder to attack, and I've already got most of the good midfielders, apart from Musiala, but he's expensive. So Xavi Simons could be the one I get there. And then up top, I'm liking the looks of Gakpo. I'm also liking the looks of Gakpo. And finally, maybe even Gakpo. I mean, yeah, he's the top scorer of the tournament. Look at these points. Look at how much he's outscoring all the midfielders, and he has the best fixture. I mean, I'm actually slightly tempted by someone like a Depay because he's on all the set pieces, but with how well Gakpo's been playing, there's no point going for anyone else. Gakpo could be the boy to go for. So, going back to my team then, I'm going to transfer Guehi out because he is suspended. I'm going to transfer Sabitzer out because he is eliminated. And my final transfer will be Morata. Mainly because I'm a prat, and who the hell would choose Morata in the fantasy team? But he's also been playing mostly 60 minutes at maximum. He has a tough fixture, and I would much rather Gakpo over him, and if I had to sell any of my forwards, I think it would probably be Morata over Kane and Mbappe. So that would mean making those 3 transfers and the players I like the most in these positions, my team could look like this. Ahoy! This would mean I would have 3 times Spain, 1 times Germany, so a lot of players in that game, but they're all great fantasy options. It could be a really tight game, but they still get all of the points. 3 from Portugal and 3 from France, which could be a big oh dear, but majority of them are actually defensive assets, and with how solid defensively both of these teams have been and how wibbly-wobbly they've been in attack, I actually wouldn't be too surprised with a 0-0. So hey, all of the points. We'll have 2 England and no Switzerland, which doesn't sound a lot, doesn't sound great, but I actually think this is one of the most unpredictable games, especially for fantasy football points. Even if England win, you know, Declan Rice could score the winner. It's like, excuse me, no, where's the points? And then we will also have 3 Netherlands and no Turkey. So as long as Netherlands remember how to play football like they did in the last game, hey, we will be good. Now, we do actually only have 2 physical days in the quarterfinals, meaning there's only 1 sub window and 1 more role of captaincy. Now, that is going to be a big boy, unlucky. But with these transfers and with my team looking like this, I would actually have 10 players playing on the first day, which does sound a lot, but actually is better to make more optimal subs, as I can get 10 players right on the pitch straight away, and then whatever ones of those blank, then I can sub in my remaining players and get all of the points. Lovely. The captaincy is pretty much going to be whoever on the first day, whoever you fancy, and then Gakpo on the second day to save everybody, because that's just what everybody's going to do. My goalkeepers also coincidentally play on different days, so I'm all sorted there, and that right there is a full starting 15, which looks pretty damn good for this week, and I haven't even used my wildcard yet, and I still got a wildcard to use next week when half of them get limited anyway. Boys, I'm actually winning it, alright? So to confirm, I will not be using my wildcard, as this team is pretty much similar to what I would build with a wildcard, and if anything, if I was wildcarding right now, I would probably actually choose a worse team, because I would try to be balancing my team so much to make sure it's ready for the future rounds, that I probably wouldn't be as attacking for the fixtures like this one. And it also means when half of these players do get eliminated next round, then I can just use my wildcard, preparing my team for the semi-finals and finals, and we got loads of transfers in the final anyway. And hey, we are all good to go. So that sounds perfect to me. I basically won fantasy football already. Give it to me, thanks. But that's going to be all. Thanks for watching, and also remember,
don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.